Yeah, it is. It's not great when you think about the calibre of players that are out too. But that's sport, isn't it? These things happen. We can't control it, and I think like everything, we've got to put the player at the centre of these situations. And some of them are out of our control, and some of them are what's best for the player.
Brought in to do a job and then for him to play in 50 games there, huge disappointment as well.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, he's a pretty robust sort of player, but then he comes here and gets injured. So that's disappointing for him. We didn't see the best of him, but hopefully in the future we may.
Yeah, do you hope to have him back here?
Yeah, we're working through that at the moment. So.
A couple of those people would have been expected to go to New Zealand. How much of that lowers it to Wales as well?
Oh, without a doubt. And I think, you just put tips out there, don't you? And again, his situation is, it's pretty disappointing for him, really. For most of it, yeah, mostly. I thought, that wind was, the wind up there second half was probably more than what it looked like. I was down pitch side and it was blowing quite a bit. So, the Dragons, they squeezed us quite a bit, and we probably overplayed a little bit trying to get out. But what was good is that we stuck true and we hung in there and we got the result that we wanted. It was a bit tighter than we would have liked, but there we are. They're a good team that are hard to play up there. So no, we're pretty happy with that. But again, nothing's really changed for us. We've got to keep trying to win and see where we lie at the back end of this.
You mentioned all the play and obviously see the real intent there from the word to open it up. Is that what we'd like to see for the rest of the season?
Well, look, there's a style of play that we want to play, and we're not quite where we need to be in terms of nailing it for 80 minutes, obviously. But we're growing and we're trying. So again, each team you come up against, you've got to tactically look at what's best, to play these types of games. That's what we thought suited the Dragons. It might be different against Treviso.
Because you're in a strange position at this stage of the season. You've normally got a lot more on the line than you did at the moment.
Yeah, we, I guess from a focus perspective, and we've talked about it all year, the performance is still very, very key for us. And again, I think it's about making sure we are not looking too far ahead. We've got to make sure that we win these games and we win them well and we get the performances that we want. And then at the end of that, we'll see how we line up. But we still believe we've got a lot to play for. Place in the top echelon of Europe is still key for us. And again, if there's a fighting chance that we've got to make it, we're in there. So that's what we're looking at.
So it's still the top.
Absolutely.
The table, I think it's a big ask, isn't it?
Yep, but funny things happen, mate, isn't it? And if we took an approach where we just chuck our hands in the air and said, oh, well, let's look towards next season, then if the opportunity does come along and we're not ready, it's something that we just got to keep fighting to the bitter end and just see where we line up. If it's gone, it's gone. If it's not, well, then at least we've given everything we've got.
From a forwards point of view, because those two back rowers against the Dragons,
Yep. Yeah, look, you take your head off to the youngsters that have come in, and you look at Adam Baird, you chuck him in there as well. I mean, they're taking their opportunities, aren't they? And that's no fluke. They work hard, to get these performances right, and particularly those three boys have really worked hard. So you work hard, you put the effort in, you're likely to get results and performances like that, and it's a pretty simple formula. But no, I'm very, very happy for those guys. Again, the next challenge is this week. What happens this week, isn't it? So, you're only remembered as good as your last game. So they've got to make sure that they get it right this week.
So you look at the fixture list. You think the Blues game is in many ways a crucial one. But you've obviously got to do. We expect you to win this week. You've got to do the job. Right?
Yeah, look, I think the people might be looking at it and going, oh, well, it's going to be easy, but we in this group understand where Treviso are at, and we've played them enough times before, and I mean, you just got to look the start of the season, you know, it came down again to the performance came down to the wire. They've got a big forward pack. You know, they like to kick the ball and they like to squeeze teams. So, you know, if we overplay, if we don't quite get accurate in our half, next thing you know, we'll be under our sticks, or we'll be defending, you know, driving lineouts, which is one of their strengths. So we're under no illusion. They're going to come here. They're going to really try and flex their muscles with us. We've just got to make sure that we're accurate and stay in that fight, and you know, put our game plan across really.
Injury for Paul James. It's obviously an opportunity for Nicky Smith to stake his claims. This is the sort of game that's a real test for him.
Yeah, and again, I think, you know, we stuck a bit on Nicky, to be fair, against the Dragons, and I thought he played well. I thought he scrummaged very well, a lot more square than he has been for a while. And again, he was strong and solid, and I think that's, you know, he's just got to keep building on that now. And again, it's a different challenge against the Treviso boys, and they're a very good scrum. They back that. So, the guys that we put out there in the front row, and Nicky, he's going to have to make sure he gets it right, doesn't he?
Do you think he's ready for that challenge in the summer? Does he also?
Well, again, that's Gaddy's option in it, but man, he's still got a ways to go in terms of his game. But he is showing very good signs of his growth and development, and you know, again, he's a big powerful boy, isn't he? So again, if we can get the subtleties of his game sorted out, then I think he'll definitely be part of the future of Wales.
Is it going to be difficult to get rid of frustration this season at the moment? Is it lingering perhaps not quite achieved?
Yeah, well, I think I'd be lying to you if I said that we weren't, as a group and organisation, pretty disappointed. You know, and you can sort of start looking and, you know, laying your finger on what the reasons why and why not. But the reality of it is this hasn't happened, and you've got to live with that, don't you? And you know, it's not nice. It's, you know, you've got that bitter taste in the back of your mouth, but it is what it is, and you've got to deal with it and get on with it. And that's why I say, you know, we keep talking about performances, individual game performances, individual person, you know, the player, making sure that they turn up. You just got to keep driving that wedge, and we've got to learn from these mistakes. And unfortunately, for, you know, parts of the season we haven't. So again, you pay the price for that. But as a group, we've got to stand strong together. As an organisation, we've got to be together and make sure that we keep moving forward. We've got a bright future, but we have to deal with the here and the now.
You've obviously got targets left for the season. At what point do you start thinking that we've blooded a lot of young players, you know, laser forwards, a good name in particular, actually that's been a benefit for next season? What point do you start looking ahead?
Yeah, well, I think you know, we try to put ourselves, you know, live in reality as much as we can, and I think you've got to. Every performance there's a massive reflection from us from a coaching perspective, and players as well. But, you know, we've identified that. We know that's definitely helping us. That, you know, it's they're learning from these experiences. That's not what we're in high performance sport for. You know, we're here to win, and you know, those learning experiences, yep, they're great to have, but that's not what we're here for at the moment. We've got to win, and at the moment, you know, so it's great on one hand. Really, you know, we appreciate the fact that that's going to happen, and that's great. But we've also too missed a trick here on a few things, because you know, we've lost some games we should win. Sorry. Not at this stage, no. So again, he's just a week by week situation. Again, you know, because he's such a big rig, you know, that's a pretty important part of his body to get right. So you know, he's got a lot to balance in that. So we'll just see how he goes.
Is there a school of thought that he won't play for you again this season?
No. Yep, absolutely not. He wants to play, and we'll just see how he goes. If he makes it through injury-wise, then great. If he doesn't, then he doesn't. So, but there's been no rule about that at all. So he's keen to play if he can. So hopefully his body mends in time.